It was a quiet Sunday morning, the kind where you can hear the hum of your own refrigerator. I was sitting at my kitchen table, nursing a mug of coffee and staring at the condensation on the window. Across the street, Martin Reeves was out early too, hosing down his driveway like it had done something wrong. He waved once. I raised my cup. It was routine, him out front doing chores, me pretending I wasn't watching. But then my phone buzzed. A text, unknown number. You think you can cover him forever? He owes more than you know. I read it twice, the way you do when your brain refuses to accept the meaning. My coffee suddenly tasted metallic. I looked up. Martin was coiling the hose, slow and deliberate. I'd lived across from Martin for 6 years. We weren't close, but our lives ran parallel in that suburban way, mowing lawns on the same day, waving from driveways, occasionally trading tools we both already owned. He was a few years older, mid-40s, with the kind of easy charm that made people like him before they knew him. Always quick with a joke, always volunteering to help someone move a couch or paint a fence. The guy everyone said you could trust. But there were little tells, the late-night visitors, the envelopes that showed up in his mailbox with no return address, the way he sometimes flinched when a car slowed in front of his house. I never asked questions. He never offered answers. The first real crack I'd noticed was last winter. I'd been clearing snow when I saw him out in just a hoodie, pacing his driveway, talking on his phone. His voice was low but sharp, like he was sawing through something. A week later, I caught him at the gas station in town, scratching off a stack of lottery tickets on the hood of his car. He looked up and froze like I'd caught him committing a crime. We both laughed it off, but I remembered the way his hand shook when he crumpled the losing tickets. That text didn't feel like a prank. It felt like a warning, and whoever sent it knew I'd been quietly covering for Martin, not with money, but with silence. 3 days later, I saw another sign. Martin's truck was gone in the middle of the day, but the garage door was wide open. Inside, there were spaces on his shelves where expensive tools used to sit. Pwned, I thought. That night, as I was bringing in the trash bins, I heard voices from his backyard. Low, urgent. One of them wasn't Martin's. ... Don't care how you do it. End of the month, or you're done. I stayed frozen until the voices faded. I started watching him more closely. Not in an obvious way, just enough to see the patterns. He'd leave at odd hours. Sometimes come back with nothing. Sometimes with a six-pack, always cheap beer. I kept my phone in my pocket whenever I went outside, recording little snippets of conversation when he didn't see me. The sound of coins sliding over a table. The sharp laugh of a man who wasn't him. One evening, I followed him. He drove to a strip mall 2 towns over, parked behind a shuttered furniture store. A single door was lit. He went inside. I waited. 40 minutes later, he came out with his hands shoved deep in his pockets, his jaw tight. I didn't need to guess what went on in there. The text came again a week later, this time with a number attached. Same words. You think you can cover him forever. Instead of ignoring it, I replied, how much? The answer came in seconds. A number that made my stomach clench. I didn't pay it. I didn't plan to. But I did something else. The next Friday night, I waited until Martin left. Then I walked across the street with a small black camera, one I'd bought online and told my wife was for security. I placed it under the lip of his porch railing, facing his front door. 2 nights later, it caught exactly what I expected. 2 men, one carrying a small duffel, one pressing something into Martin's chest. His face in that moment, fear, shame, and something darker, was all I needed. I sent the footage to the number that had texted me, along with a message. He's yours now. Don't bring this to my door again. But I also sent it somewhere else, an old contact at the county sheriff's office. The next morning, Martin was gone. So was his truck. The street was quieter without him. I drank my coffee in peace. Some neighbors you don't save. You just make sure they can't drag you under.